Bonjour! Are you planning a trip to France or simply interested in their cultural norms? Here are the top things not to do in France to help you navigate social interactions and make a great impression. Let's start. Number 1. Don't miss saying bonjour or bonsoir.
Bonjour!
The importance of exchanging courtesies in France, especially the customary greeting of bonjour, is paramount. This practice is deeply rooted in French culture, embodying politeness and respect. Neglecting to greet someone properly can result in unintended faux pas, attracting unwanted stares and creating an awkward atmosphere even before any interaction begins. By saying bonjour or bonsoir in the evening, you set the stage for an amicable exchange, whether you're entering a store, meeting someone new, or interacting with service personnel. Making eye contact and offering a smile during greetings also conveys warmth and attentiveness. In addition to the initial salutation, it is customary to exchange pleasantries, such as inquiring about someone's well-being or day. These small gestures build rapport and encourage a friendly environment. When departing a conversation or location, remember to say au revoir or bonne journée, as this demonstrates politeness and acknowledges the time spent together. Failure to do so might be perceived as rude and leave a negative impression. In France, emphasizing basic courtesies showcases your cultural awareness and adaptability. Engaging in these simple exchanges not only contributes to a pleasant atmosphere, but also fosters smoother interactions and the possibility of forging deeper connections. Number 2. Don't wave wildly to attract waiters' attention. In French dining culture, discreet and respectful behavior is valued, and this extends to interactions with restaurant staff. Waving wildly or gesturing excessively to catch a waiter's attention is considered impolite and may even be met with disapproval or a lack of service. Instead, it's crucial to observe the local etiquette and adopt a more subtle approach when communicating with waitstaff. When trying to attract a waiter's attention, maintain a relaxed and patient demeanor. A simple raised hand or slight nod, accompanied by eye contact, should suffice. Waiters in France typically allow diners to enjoy their meals without constant interruptions, so be prepared for a different pace of service than you might be used to. Additionally, familiarize yourself with common French phrases to facilitate smooth communication. Phrases like s'il vous plaît, please, and excusez-moi, excuse me, can be helpful when attempting to engage a waiter. Being polite and courteous while demonstrating an effort to speak the local language will be appreciated and contribute to a more positive dining experience. It's also essential to remember that in France, tipping is not an obligation, but a gesture of appreciation for good service. While a service charge is typically included in the bill, leaving a small additional tip, usually around 5–10% of the total bill, is a thoughtful way to express gratitude for exceptional service. Number 3. Don't forget to dress appropriately. French culture is known for its appreciation of fashion and personal style. As a result, it's essential to dress appropriately when visiting or living in the country. While there is no strict dress code for day-to-day life in France, adhering to certain unwritten guidelines can help you blend in and demonstrate respect for local customs. Generally, it's advisable to avoid overly casual or sporty clothing, such as shorts, athletic wear, or flip-flops, except for specific settings like the beach or during physical activities. Instead, opt for attire that is tasteful, elegant, and suited to the occasion or environment. For instance, when visiting religious sites, such as churches or cathedrals, it's important to dress modestly by covering your shoulders and avoiding revealing or provocative clothing. Similarly, upscale establishments like fine dining restaurants or exclusive clubs may have specific dress codes, requiring patrons to wear formal or semi-formal attire. It's also worth noting that French people value personal grooming and hygiene, so ensure that your clothing is clean, well-maintained, and free from wrinkles. Taking the time to present yourself neatly and stylishly can make a significant impact on first impressions and contribute to a positive overall experience. Number 4. Don't assume cars will stop at pedestrian crossings. In France, designated pedestrian crossings don't guarantee that vehicles will automatically stop when you approach. French traffic culture views these crossings as an indication that people might be crossing, prompting drivers to slow down, but not necessarily come to a complete halt for pedestrians. To ensure your safety when crossing the road, it's crucial to be proactive and clearly communicate your intentions. If cars aren't stopping, attempt to make eye contact with the driver and gesture your desire to cross. Start moving, but only step onto the roadway once the driver acknowledges your presence and begins to slow down. Number 5. Don't deny kisses from people. In France, social greetings often involve a gesture known as la bise, which consists of exchanging light cheek kisses. This custom varies depending on the region, with the number of kisses ranging from 1 to 4. While it might seem unusual to some, it is a deeply ingrained aspect of French culture, reflecting the values of warmth and familiarity. Refusing to engage in this practice may be considered impolite and could inadvertently offend your French counterparts. It's important to understand that la bise is not an intimate or romantic gesture, but rather a friendly and courteous way to greet others, particularly among friends, family members, and acquaintances. In more formal settings, a handshake or a simple verbal greeting is typically more appropriate. When encountering la bise, it's best to follow the lead of your French hosts or friends. Observe the local customs and adapt accordingly to avoid any unintentional rudeness or discomfort. However, if you're genuinely uncomfortable with the idea of cheek kissing, it's essential to communicate your feelings politely and respectfully. Most people will understand and appreciate your honesty, and they may suggest an alternative greeting like a handshake or a nod. Number 6. Don't use informal language when talking to the locals. In France, using polite language when speaking to strangers is of utmost importance. French people place great emphasis on etiquette and proper social conduct, which is reflected in their language use. When addressing someone you've just met or don't know well, it is customary to use formal titles like Monsieur for men, Madame for married women, and Mademoiselle for unmarried women. Using these titles shows respect and acknowledges social boundaries. It is essential to listen carefully when others address you, as they might provide clues on how they expect to be addressed in return. Additionally, the French language has 2 forms of the pronoun you, the formal vos and the informal tu. When speaking with someone you've just met, or in formal settings such as business interactions, it is crucial to use the formal vos to convey respect and maintain a professional tone. The informal tu is reserved for close friends, family members, and people of the same age or social status. Using tu inappropriately may be considered disrespectful and could make the person you are speaking with feel uncomfortable. Number 7. Do not only visit Paris. While Paris is undoubtedly a must-see destination in France, limiting your trip to the City of Light would mean missing out on the rich cultural, historical, and natural diversity that the country has to offer. By venturing beyond the capital, you can immerse yourself in a myriad of unique experiences and explore the authentic charm of France. The stunning French Riviera, or Côte d'Azur, is a popular destination that boasts sun-soaked beaches, luxurious resorts, and picturesque coastal towns like Nice, Cannes, and Saint-Tropez. Meanwhile, the historic region of Provence entices visitors with its idyllic countryside, lavender fields, and captivating cities such as Aix-en-Provence and Avignon. Further west, Bordeaux is renowned for its vineyards and world-class wines, while the nearby Dordogne Valley is a treasure trove of medieval castles, prehistoric cave art, and enchanting villages. The majestic French Alps provide outdoor enthusiasts with ample opportunities for skiing, hiking, and mountain biking, while charming towns like Chamonix and Annecy offer breathtaking views and cultural attractions. For a taste of France's rich history, visit the Normandy region, home to the iconic Mont Saint-Michel and the poignant D-Day landing beaches. In the north, the city of Lille features impressive architecture and a vibrant art scene, while Strasbourg, located near the German border, showcases a unique blend of French and German influences. By expanding your itinerary beyond Paris, you'll discover the true essence of France, experiencing its diverse landscapes, delectable cuisine, and fascinating history firsthand. Don't limit yourself to the capital. Immerse yourself in the country's abundant beauty and charm. Number 8. Do not ask for additional condiments such as ketchup, mayonnaise, etc. When dining in a fine French restaurant, it's important to respect the culinary traditions and the chef's expertise. One way to do this is by refraining from asking for ketchup, mayonnaise, or other condiments that may not typically accompany the dishes served. Requesting such additions can be perceived as an insult to the chef, suggesting that their carefully crafted dish is lacking in flavor or quality. In French culinary culture, dishes are meticulously designed to provide a balance of flavors, textures, and presentation. Chefs often spend years perfecting their skills and techniques to achieve gastronomic excellence. By adding condiments that aren't part of the original recipe, you risk altering the intended experience of the dish and diminishing the chef's vision. Moreover, asking for condiments that are not customary in French cuisine may signal a lack of cultural awareness or appreciation for the unique characteristics of the country's culinary heritage. To fully enjoy the French dining experience, it's best to embrace the flavors and nuances of the dishes as they are served. Of course, exceptions may be made in more casual dining settings or for dishes that traditionally include condiments, such as fries or sandwiches. However, when dining in a fine French restaurant, it's advisable to show respect for the chef's expertise and the rich culinary traditions that inform their creations. Trust the chef's judgment and allow yourself to savor the authentic flavors of French cuisine as they were meant to be experienced. Number 9. Don't use excessive hand gestures in France. In many cultures, using hand gestures while talking is a natural and expressive way to communicate. However, when engaging in conversation in France or other places where a more reserved style of communication is preferred, it's important to be mindful of your body language and keep your hands and arms relatively still. Using excessive hand gestures can be perceived as overly animated, distracting, or even impolite in certain situations. In France and many other European countries, conversations tend to be more understated, and excessive gesturing may be seen as a sign of emotional instability or lack of self-control. Maintaining a more composed demeanor during conversation demonstrates respect for the person you're speaking with and allows them to focus on the content of your words rather than your gestures. Being aware of your body language and limiting hand gestures can also help you build rapport and establish connections with people from cultures that value subtlety and restraint in communication. Adapting to the local communication style can contribute to a more positive impression and make it easier for others to relate to you. To achieve a more composed communication style, try focusing on maintaining eye contact and speaking clearly and calmly. Pay attention to the body language of those around you and try to mirror their level of gesturing. Number 10. When visiting France where manners and etiquette are highly valued, it is essential to be aware of the expectations in public spaces, especially in bakeries and small shops. One such expectation is not to enter these establishments while talking on your phone. Doing so is considered disrespectful and can make a negative impression on the shopkeepers and other customers. Engaging in a phone conversation while entering a shop can be perceived as a sign that you are not fully present and lack respect for the establishment and the people working there. Shopkeepers and small businesses often take pride in providing personalized service, and using your phone can make it difficult for them to engage with you and address your needs. Moreover, talking on the phone in a small shop can be disruptive to other customers who are browsing or making purchases. It is important to be considerate of the shared space and maintain a quiet and respectful atmosphere. To avoid appearing disrespectful, it is best to finish your phone conversation before entering a bakery or small shop. If you receive a call while inside, politely excuse yourself and step outside to take the call. This shows consideration for the people around you and the cultural expectations of France.